What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be doing a first round mock draft with no trades. Currently, it is March 26th, so it is exactly a month out from the NFL draft. So, we're going to be doing this on PFF. Now, unfortunately, within the last couple of days, PFF decided to add a paywall behind their simulator. Now, you see, I can't change other than slowing down the speed of a draft, but I can only do one or two rounds now, and I can't even do any trades. So it's very unfortunate for PFF. I know there's a lot of outrage in the draft community because of this, but I'm gonna be start doing mock drafts on Pro Football Network or NFL database now because of that. But I figured for the last time I might use PFF until they take off their paywall that nobody likes. Because they got free advertising from it. Like at the end when people posted it, you could see pff.com/mock or whatever it was. So, yeah, we're just gonna be doing just a first round mock draft, no trades. So unfortunately, no Niners, Browns, Broncos, Dolphins, Rams in this one. But yeah, should be excited. So as you can see, I can't even force trades before the draft, which is also very unfortunate. But um, yeah. So the Carolina Panthers, with the first overall pick, they traded up for. Now, earlier this week, Frank Reich, Jim Irsay, owners are rarely at meetings, but I mean pro days, but Jim Irsay, GM Chris Ballard, they were all at the Ohio State quarterback CJ Stroud's pro day, and it really seems like CJ Stroud is a favorite currently. Um, with his height and just how he is as a player. He had a really good pro day in my opinion. Made some good throws. So yeah, I with the first overall pick, I'm gonna be drafting C.J. Stroud to go to the Carolina Panthers. So he's gonna be joining Josh McCown and a pretty good coaching staff there. Now you see that they're gonna give me this, but I can't do anything about it. You see, I can't offer so. That's pretty much unfortunate. But anyways, the Houston Texans with the second overall pick. Now they're more than happy to come out of here with Bryce Young. You know, I think they figured that he's their favorite prospect. Nick Casario, formerly of the New England Patriots. You know how the Patriots love their Bama guys. Bryce Young certainly is arguably the best quarterback in the class. It's just his height, as long as his height and his weight. There have been short quarterbacks in the past with Wilson and Murray, just to name a few with success. But his weight is really a concern. And despite him bulking up to go to 205, he's not going to play at that in the NFL level. We all know that. But yeah, Bryce Young is going to be going second overall to the Houston Texans. Now, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is where a lot of teams look for them to trade, and I do believe that they will be trading out of this pick. It makes sense when you have a new GM, a new head coach, a new regime coming in there to really bulk up for the roster, considering Murray's going to be out for a good part of the season with his ACL tear. So get a bunch of draft picks so you can build up your roster, build up for some success, be it a future pick. You saw how the Lions did that with that Matthew Stafford trade, and then look, they have the sixth overall pick in this year's draft. So you can really take advantage of that. And I would have them trading back, but instead we're going to be going with Will Anderson Jr., the outside linebacker slash edge from Alabama. So back to back Alabama players. He's a great player. Um, just uh, in terms of what he does on the field, it's just the talent is there. Um, so yeah. Um, with the fourth overall pick, you have the Indianapolis Colts. Now the Colts, um, I really, in my opinion, I do believe that Will Levis is the most overrated player in the draft by far. You see, 68.6 overall grade. Like he's already nearly 24 years old. It's not there for him. So most definitely they will be going with Anthony Richardson. He's a very boomer bust prospect, but he has the speed certainly. He's only 21. He'll be 22 when the season comes around, so he has that. Um, I believe they still have Nick Foles on the roster because they released Matt Ryan, but he could certainly be mentored there. And the Colts are not expected to win right now, so he'll really help out. He'll really help them out in the rebuild because they're not a quarterback away. There's plenty of holes on that roster, so it'll give him some time to really develop. And yeah, I got the Colts with their new head coach from the Eagles, their former offensive coordinator. So we'll see if he can do something like he did with Jalen Hurts. So Anthony Richardson to the Indianapolis Colts. No, the Seahawks here at 5. Um, I really think that Anthony Richardson could be the guy. Had he fallen one more, if for some reason the Colts go with Will Levis, but I don't think Will Levis is the guy for them. I really don't. And um, just overall looking at the roster and everything, maybe Jalen Carter is the guy. I know that he's fallen a lot down people's draft boards, considering his very, very, very bad pro day. He's gained 10 pounds, and it's not healthy there. He has off the field issues as well with law enforcement, so that is something to see there. But um, perhaps I feel like they will go there. They see something in him, so. Yeah. Now with the sixth overall pick, the Detroit Lions are in a great spot right now, and um, where they're at, if you really look at the roster, look at what they've done, I do think that Christian Gonzalez is the guy here. Like, I would love for him to fall to my New England Patriots at 14, but it's just Gonzalez is too good of a player. They went with a Penei Sewell out of Oregon, before. um, 2 years ago. He was a Brad Holmes' first pick, and just looking at the way that they've operated in the NFL draft, they pick really good football players. And this is just one of those guys. They have um, the former third overall pick Ohio State player. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he's very injury prone. I mean, we can look it up real quick. Um, Jeffrey Okuda. Jeff Okuda, yeah. Um, so 2020 draft, so that means that his option is going to be. Oh, they have to decide. I believe it'll be next off season. I believe 2020. Yeah, because 2020, 2021, 22. Yeah. So, um, it'll be really interesting to see there what they decide to do. Um, could he climb? Could he fall? Um, I I do think that they are gonna go with Christian Gonzalez still. But yeah, they're in a good spot right now. They picked up some great free agents, um, including I believe CJ Gardner Johnson to be a safety. But yeah, just Gonzalez, he has the upside of a lockdown corner, and they could really use that. So Gonzalez to the Lions. Now the Raiders, they did draft Jimmy Garoppolo, but you know, I can see them going for Will Levis, just taking a shot on him. I really, I truly, I don't see what others people see in him. Yeah, but yeah, he does have the arm strength like people keep saying. So maybe if they can get something out of him, but he's too old and he's too raw for my liking. But the Will Levis there, they have Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not going to talk too much about that. The Falcons here now, a lot of them have them going for a corner, but one thing I want to point out is that uh, they their secondary is pretty decent. They paid the paid out the most fourth most expensive contract for a safety to acquire um, the Bengals former safety. Um, forgot his name as well. I'm doing very poor here, but yeah, they did that, and so I don't see them going Brian Branch, which I had going over here. So I don't have them doing Brian Branch anymore. For in terms of we can go down to everything. Um, I think Hendon Hooker is like a second round pick, but with his ACL tear and his age, he's already 25, so he'll be coming in being 26. So um, that's something there. But um, yeah, I think Quentin Johnson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, they they could use somebody in the slot, but they would probably trade back to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I didn't know his grade was that bad. He's very very young, very young. He'll be a slot guy. They got rid of Calvin Ridley, um, so I feel like they could use a receiver here, but they were like in the same boat last year, and they went with the kid out of USC. Um, so just trying to look all around. They have Kyle Pitts already. Um, I think edge is really the guy here. Edge. They don't have any star players off their edge, so I feel like edge is a bigger need for them right now. So they're gonna go with Tyree Wilson, who is climbing so up high people's draft boards. They have him going to the Cardinals even at the third pick. Like it's ridiculous. Now the Bears, they traded back. They can use every single. They have holes all over their roster. Wide receiver, I don't think they're gonna go for. They have Claypool. Um, they have DJ Moore now. N'Keal Harry is a free agent, but they got a couple of other guys there as well. So wide receiver is not as big of a need. I feel like they should really help out their O line here. And Peter Skronsky, I think he's gonna be the first tackle taken off the board. I know people are talking about, oh, is he gonna kick inside? Which I do think might be worth it for him to kick inside, but um, he's really a star player and he's young. We'll see how much the arm length really matters. You see, he has a very similar build to Isaiah Wynn, who people had saying like you remember him to the Patriots in the 2018 draft. Um, People said that he's gonna play guard, but he's been playing tackle and yeah, we'll see there. But really, I think the Bears they can go with anyone here to be honest, except for wide receiver. I don't think that should be their first pick here, but um, I got them going Peter Skronsky, because if anything, he'll be a star guard for them. But he's a really good player anyway. He offers versatility. Now the Eagles, they brought back Darius Slay to the new contract, so they extended him. Um, they brought back James Bradbury, so I don't have them going corner here. But instead, for wide receiver, they have Devontae Smith as like a good number two. They have AJ Brown. So when you're really looking at this, I think Kalijah Kancey could be the guy. They have the guy from last year who didn't get much game time, a D tackle. Um, he was the first round pick last year. Oh my, I do apologize for my lack of memory here, but uh, people keep comparing him to Aaron Donald, but um, I think he's somebody different than that. I really do think that um, I know that um, they have Fletcher Cox back, but he's probably going to retire soon. So just overall, I think Kalijah Kancey makes sense there. You know, there's their defensive tackle of the future, and the Titans here it has to be tackled. They're rebuilding, and you can't rebuild without an O line. So I mean, it is possible for them to go wide receiver. They have Traylon Burks out of Arkansas last year, and I believe that he played in the slot a lot, but he's a big physical guy. So if they decide to go with like a Jackson Smith and Jigba, for example, that would really tell you that he's gonna be moved out to the slot. But um, they don't really have. They released Taylor Lewin, so I think O line is gonna be a priority for them. And just looking at it overall, and you have Paris Johnson Jr. You have Broderick Jones there, but just overall, I think that Paris Johnson Jr. will be the pick here. That's very realistic. And now the Texans are back on the clock, so they drafted their um, quarterback of the future, Bryce Young. And now because they traded away Brandon Cooks, they need the receiver of the future. So um, they're gonna draft over here Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now I know that he played under CJ Stroud, but um, he's a really good receiver. He'll fill in that Cook's role per se. They have John Mechie from last year, so um, Bryce Young will be familiar with that. So honestly, you can either go Jackson Smith and Jigba or Quentin Johnson. And now I think about it, Mechie is like number two, and he can also play in the slot. So I'm gonna go with Quentin Johnson. They don't have a number one down there. I'm gonna go with Quentin Johnson now. Um, be kind of a deep threat. So be that really good X. So Quentin Johnson to the Houston Texans at 12. Now the Jets need tackle, 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 tackle. So they're looking at the board right now. They see Broderick Jones is still on the board, and they're gonna take Broderick Jones. I think they're gonna be happy with any of their three tackles. They really need to protect perhaps Aaron Rodgers. I know that Zach Wilson, like when you looked at the Jets documentary on the draft, Zach Wilson was really the guy. They were like, okay, you're gonna get balls thrown from Zach Wilson. They really had high upside for him, but he lost the locker room, and once you lose the locker room, there's no going back. He didn't hold accountability, so people really know the type of character he is, and it's not the best for a team. So they're gonna go Butter Jones. Now the New England Patriots are in a great position right here. This is my team, and you have right here with the first three picks, you have a cornerback, which is a position of need. You have a wide receiver, a position of need, and a safety, a position of need. So honestly, there's plenty of options here, but I feel like Brian Branch just sticks out of the bunch. You know, he's a nickel back. Definitely can play there. So he can play as a corner, but he's more suited to be as a safety. And Alabama kid, really smart. So I want us to take Brian Branch. I know Devon Witherspoon really has the potential over there to be a star cornerback, but in my opinion, I feel like we could really try and target somebody later on in the draft, perhaps. Um, but like with Akili Ringo per se, who's really fallen down people's boards. Um, but yeah, Devon Witherspoon. Because if you look at the roster right now, right, we brought back Jonathan Jones to a 1 year deal, or a 1 or a 2 year deal. And because of that, um, we're gonna have Jonathan Jones perhaps be the number one, perhaps. Number two should be Jack Jones, and then in the slot you have Marcus Jones. Okay, because I think we re-signed Jalen Mills, so he'll be a safety for us, free safety, but certainly you can move around like that. Um, but I feel like Devon Witherspoon coming in. Um, the safety is more of a higher need for us there. But yeah, you can honestly go either way here. And yeah, I want to. But on second thoughts, the more I think about it, the more I think of um in terms of the safety position. Now I know I'm going all over the place, but um where is he? Christopher Smith. I've watched this guy's film. He's incredible. He's a great free safety. Um, actually, I changed my mind. We're going Devon Witherspoon. He's too good of a lockdown corner, man. He's what Christian Gonzalez is, but just lacking a tiny bit of the height. He's 5'11". Gonzalez, I believe, is 6'1", I believe. 6'2", maybe. 6'1", yeah. He's 6'1", but Witherspoon is the same exact player. He's just lacking 3 inches of height. So I'm gonna go Devon Witherspoon. You know, J.C. Jackson was also 5'11", so um, the Packers here. Now, they have some receivers they drafted last year, and they could really use anybody on the roster in general. But I do have them going with where is he? Where is he? Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. Now, he didn't go too crazy, but I think he is still the best tight end in the draft. So they're gonna get a tight end for the future there to help out Jordan Love. They have some receivers over there, but tight end here in a deep tight end class, get Michael Mayer. Washington, they're not going to go a quarterback here. The head coach has already come out talking about how they believe Sam Howell could be their guy because even in the previous draft, he was arguably the best quarterback in that draft. So um, they're going to go corner here. They're going to go with Joey Porter Jr. Good kid, good player. You know, can do a lot of things for them. And now the Steelers here. Um, Pittsburgh Steelers. They're in a great position right now, man. Um, in terms of how they can maneuver. But I think Deontay Banks is he's interesting. He really is. for these guys. But I think this is where Nolan Smith goes. I do think this is where Nolan Smith goes. He's rising up in the draft. Actually, I changed my mind. I didn't even see him. See, this is why, because PFF, the way they have their rankings, sometimes you see guys who you have higher on your board, and they have much lower. And now that I see him, Jordan Addison, he's reuniting with Kenny Pickett, where he had the most success with. Um, so there you go. Now D line could be something for the Lions, cornerback, linebacker, but um, they're like football guys. So this is where Brian Branch is gonna go to pair up with, I believe, Sidney Brown. But look at the roster. You have wide receivers as Jamison Williams, and you have on the other side the USC kid. Um, he was a fourth rounder from 2 years ago. You have he went crazy this year, so they could use somebody in the slot, kind of um, give Jared Goff that presence. But I feel like yeah, they like football guys. Noah Smith is a football guy. Done. I'm not. We're at a point now where it's really hard to do without trades because some of these teams they should really try and trade back. Some teams should try and trade up, but it's very difficult. And the the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are here. Um, the Buccaneers are here, and they are going to go with. Hmm, they're gonna go with Dalton Kincaid. They could use a tight end. They went with OJ Howard a few many years ago. He didn't really prove out to be well. They have some old guys on the roster, so they're gonna go there. Now Seattle, remember their first pick was Jalen Carter, so now they're gonna look for the offensive side of the ball. They have DK, they have Tyler Lockett, but Tyler Lockett is getting really old. So this is where Jackson Smith and Jibba comes off the board. Get the ball thrown to him over there by Geno Smith, and we'll see how that goes. Now the Chargers here, they have plenty of options to help their team out, but because of the trade request be given by oh it's 95, that is incredible. But because of the trade request by Austin Eckler, they're gonna draft Bijan Robinson to be that guy. He's a star player. He'll be taken later there. Um, Now these guys could really use a wide receiver. I don't think Zay Flowers is that guy for them. That they could use Luke Van Ness more because they did draft Kyle Hampton in the year before that. So now the Vikings, they're rebuilding. As you can see, I'm flying through these picks because I don't really have much to say on some of these guys. Like not trying to be rude to them, but they're not as deserving of a long talk. Considering there's no trades yet, there's nothing to really talk about. So now Brian Branch, Deontay Banks, Brian Brzee, Miles Murphy. So you have a decent amount of guys here for the Vikings. They could use a corner, but they went with Andrew Booth Jr. last year, who I still think was one of the best cornerbacks in last year's class. Sauce Gardner is obviously balling out right now, but I feel like I have lots of faith in him. So you're really looking at this roster right now. Wide receivers are good. They could really use somebody off the edge, and they're gonna go with Miles Murphy. Uh, really realistic landing spot there, considering how they release some guys because of the cap hit and all that. And now the Jaguars are here. They could use interior O line. Osiris Torrance out of Florida. He's gonna go to Jacksonville. Now the Giants, they got a tight end in Darren Waller. They brought back Daniel Jones. They brought back Saquon Barkley. So they could really help Daniel Jones out receiving wise. So they're gonna go with Zay Flowers to help them out there. They brought back Sterling Shepard, but they released Kenny Galladay. What a bad contract that was. But yeah. Now the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. They have Tony Pollard there. They could use maybe perhaps another receiver, linebacker. Um, to be honest, this is where Brian Branch goes off. Ford, be good safety for them. You know, the Bills could really use anything here. They went with the Kyer Elam last year out of Florida to be their cornerback. Um, so really they could use help on the O line. So Anton Harrison is gonna go to the Bills. And the Bengals, they've dished out all that money. So O-line is probably not to not Paris, Orlando Brown Jr. O-line is probably not going to be their number one thing. So they're going to go cornerback here. You know, they have E.I. Apple, but um, surprised Cam Smith has fallen off this much, to be honest. Um, to be fair, he isn't that like number one. Emmanuel Forbes is, in my opinion, he's a little overrated now. People say the picks, like right here, ball skills, but a couple of times when I'm watching his film, it was because it was balls were underthrown. He just happened to be there. But yeah, Deontay Banks here as well. So they're gonna go with Emmanuel Forbes. Saints are here. They went with a receiver last year in Chris Olave. Um, they're really looking to make a little bit of a push because they keep moving around the salary cap. Um, so this is where Brian Brzee is gonna go. You know, Cam Thomas, Cameron Jordan is getting a little older there. So Eagles now at 30. Plenty of options for them here. And BJ Ojolari screaming at them to pick them. And the last pick, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go with Devon Jones, play on the right side. So that is the first round mock draft with no trades. Um, I know it wasn't as exciting as we got on. And here it is. Here's the unlock all the PFF data plus the number one draft simulator. This is very, very poor for PFF. Nobody's going to be buying that. But you see, literally it advertised it for them. But I think this is a pretty realistic draft in terms of my opinion. This isn't what the media are saying to get clicks or anything like that, but this is realistic um, in terms of the way everything is shaping around. Maybe you have some things like Michael Mayer might not go as high, or Devon Witherspoon might not fall, or Quentin Johnson isn't going to go to the Texans at 12. For sure, he's not. But um, yeah, this is my mock draft. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And I have a vlog that I recorded about like a month or two ago. So yeah, let me know if you guys want me to drop that. And I'm glad.